Hey guys, this is Kip Shear. Welcome back to my channel. What is a luxury flip? There's really not any specific definition to that. I like to think of a luxury flip as really anything above, in the Phoenix market where I am, anything above like $1 million really is kind of an even number to shoot for as luxury. But you can have luxury flips for less than $1 million. You can have higher than $1 million homes that are, wouldn't be considered luxury. So it's just kind of an arbitrary number. But when I think of luxury flips, I think of high price points, buyers who are most of the time paying cash for those homes. Homes that are usually a little bit bigger, so 2,500 square feet or larger. So usually a 4-bedroom, 3-bath or more. I like to do properties that are bigger lots, so maybe at least a quarter of an acre, up to a half an acre, up to a full acre. And homes that are a little bit more contemporary, a little more grand, so taller ceilings, bigger great rooms, big yards, pools, things like that. So I didn't always do that. When I first started, I did all kinds of flips, but my first few were just, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot house, pretty standard. And those are great. There's a space for them. A lot of flippers are in that space, and I still do those every once in a while. But I found that I was volume business. It's more of a just basic, do the basic flip. So carpet or flooring, paint, cabinets, simple stuff. And don't spend too much. So you're always looking for like the cheapest fixture on Amazon and the cheapest hardware and cheap cabinets and all that stuff. And that's all fine, but it doesn't lend itself to a whole lot of creativity. So I felt like I was doing things that looked really good in a picture, but if you were in person, they kind of looked cheap. And I like stuff that I can feel proud of, that like I would be proud to show someone a property and like really have a lot of great stuff in it. So I naturally started going higher and higher and higher on the price point. And I found, at first I was afraid of it. And I think a lot of flippers are afraid of going toward a higher price flip because they feel like, well, I'm too, I don't know if I have the chops to do that. I don't know if I can make something that a $2 million buyer would like. And the one thing I've come to find out is there's some differences between your $2 million buyer and your $1 million buyer and your $500,000 buyer. But on the whole, most buyers are not real estate experts. They are, they have some other profession and they know something about homes, but they're not experts. So they still appreciate a good looking home, and very few buyers know more about a home than you would as a flipper. So it's still just as easy to wow a $2 million buyer as it is to wow a $500,000 buyer. The difference is you get to use nicer stuff, and you can spend the money, and you don't feel like you have to pinch every penny during the process because you have such a small margin. The bigger flips have bigger margins. Even if to flip a 2,000 square foot house for a $500,000 sale price or a $2 million sale price, the cost of the flip itself isn't that much different. The difference is the price of the home that you bought to start out with. But the remodel is not that much different. You're just putting a little bit nicer fixtures in, but that's maybe a 10, 20% delta in price. So you can be a lot more picky and do more fun stuff, pick really cool fixtures that you like, that look really cool. And the buyer really appreciates that, and they'll spend a lot more on that house because the home looks more like what they look at on Pinterest or Instagram or whatever. So I like that price point. I feel like I can be creative. I can do fun stuff. I can go overboard on my finishes and my fixtures, and the buyer appreciates that. The other reason is those buyers typically have a good amount of cash on hand, or they've got another home that they're selling to buy this home, and that home's got a bunch of equity in it. So they usually have money beyond just getting a loan to be able to come out of pocket if say an appraisal comes in short, or if there's a competitive situation, there's multiple people that want a house, that higher price point buyer is able and willing to go higher on their price. So I've had flips where I sold a house for $100,000 more than the list price because a bunch of people wanted it and they all competed for it, and it ended up bidding itself up a bunch. That's harder to do on a house that it has just buyers who are maxed out on what they can afford because they don't have the cash to go any higher. So there's a lot of reasons that the luxury flips that I gravitate towards those, but that's a few of them. So if you're interested, if you have a property here in the Phoenix metro area that you would like to sell to me, I'm always buying. I buy at least one a month. So check out my other video where I go into more depth on my buy box. But if you have something you think would work, I'm looking for homes that are nice homes on big lots that have room for additions, or that are already good size homes that maybe are a little dated, maybe something built in the 90s that just needs to be refreshed. If you have something like that, reach out to me. I'd love to take a look at it. I'm always buying. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for listening to my video. Subscribe to my channel and check out some of my other videos. Appreciate it. Thanks.